Hello Sagittarius, my dear Saggies. How are you? Welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. This is the week of the ancestral readings, and I feel like I'm got spots of sunlight all over me here. It's nice and sunny. We are going to try to pull in a message from an ancestral guide that is around you, with you. Now, how I'm going to do this, like this week. I have a 4-week schedule where I change kind of what the readings are. When we come back to this again, I am going to do it differently. I'm going to do it differently like each time to allow different types of messages to come through. So there you are. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to be using my Spellcaster's Tarot, but it's small, right? It's reduced because it just has the major arcana and the court cards in it to try to give us an idea of who this person is, who they were. Yeah, like what are their strongest attributes? This soul, this ancestor that's coming through. This may be someone that you knew in your lifetime that has passed on. It may also be someone that you didn't have the opportunity to know, but is part of your lineage that does serve you as a soul guide. So, yes, and then we're going into the energy oracle deck, and I'm going to try to get some information about this person's life, and it tends to be something fairly similar to whatever message is also coming through. Like there's going to be a message to you also from them from a tarot deck, and I do find that the aspect of this person's life that comes up in the reading is something that they've been through this, and now they're serving you with that experience to help guide you through it. There is an extended at the end of this reading. I do go into the Journey of Love Oracle deck and get a word of encouragement from them to you. And then I go into another tarot deck, and we're going to ask in the extended, what is this ancestor trying to guide you towards? Why? What is the lesson in that? And then what are your next steps moving forward? So let's get started right now. Sagittarius. A guide for Sagittarius. A guide for Sagittarius. I'm curious. Scorpio really changed the rhythm. Okay. So, interesting. Oh my gosh. Who is this? You're almost kind of taking that rhythm. Whoa. Boy, this is masculine. Masculine. If I thought Scorpio had a masculine ancestor coming through, this is nothing you got coming through here. Wow. Okay. I'm going to show you all three at once. There's no question. There is no question about this individual's energy. This is yang as ever there was yang could be. And then the King of Wands, the King of Swords, the Emperor. And then the underline is the King of Cups. Holy kingdom. That is a lot of masculine energy. This is a strong person. This is someone who in their life would have been quite accomplished. Quite accomplished in work, business, community. The only one that's missing here is Pentacles. Interesting thing that's missing, right? It actually takes four king energies to be the Emperor. Like the Empress, it takes 4 queen energies. It takes the element from all the kings in the tarot, whereas the King of Pentacles. So, I think the story in this person is what's missing, not so much what is here. What is missing? The King of Pentacles is missing here to make this person the Emperor. The King of Pentacles, to me, would be like the father, the husband. So perhaps this person did not get a partnership. I want to say they pretty much had everything else. This person experienced deep love, deep feelings, passion, desire, entrepreneurial spirit, really being very strong and determined in what they wanted, and being able to, this person could really play a poker face. and strategize and analyze to find success. Really interesting. I really feel like this individual is coming forward to talk about maybe what they didn't get. So let's see where this goes. It doesn't necessarily, wow, look at the split. Action and romance. Maybe it was some sort of committed connection. Action and man holding the heart. Wow, guys, this is really crazy. What is the story? What is the story of this energy coming through for Sagittarius? What is their story? This story is relevant to Sagittarius. Is a guide for Sagittarius. How? Not two so far. Interesting. That actually got a card that came out at exactly the same spot as Scorpio. How is this a guide? What is the story? What is the story? There's so much masculine energy all over this. It's crazy. I don't think I've done a reading where I have for, yeah. Someone this week had like just loads and loads of feminine energy. It was just like female depiction. Yin, yin, yin. This is yang, yang, yang. Massive yang, yang, yang. There's nothing female that is, except here, the anxiety. Everything else, you have the temple path and the first chakra. You have the man holding the coin in cornucopia. There's the King of Pentacles energy. Okay, what I'm hearing is the tarot cards that have come out are kind of like this person. Obviously, that's what I'm asking for. The oracle cards are what produces the anxiety, or there's some sort of anxiety produced by this. Whatever spiritual path, whatever life journey this person chooses for themselves or has chosen, it gives them a great grounding. It makes them very, very grounded. It sort of becomes a catalyst for lining up all of the other things in their life. Because I think of the first chakra. Once this chakra is open and balanced, it enables all of the other ones to be worked on and open and balanced. If you can't get this basic balance here, it's the foundation. You need to have that one first. Also, a lot of passion. It's funny how it's sitting on the table. It's sitting right underneath the King of Wands. This person found a lot of passion, a lot of grounding in their life journey, their spiritual path, the path to their greater enlightenment. The path to their greater enlightenment was a path that provided them with a lot of grounded energy, a lot of grounding energy, helped them center, but also provides them with a lot of passion. And then, and I find it interesting too that the body language is facing this, right? The body language is facing the temple path. And then the man holding the coin with cornucopia is also the body language is going there. Are these two separate paths? Because these two energies are a little bit opposed, like not... Maybe this is the anxiety. What gave this person deep passion, grounded them in a way like I feel like nothing ever did, opens their spirit and their soul, is not the same thing that brings them abundance somehow, or there's something that sits between it. I want to say it's something that sits between this great abundance and what feeds your soul. Great abundance and what feeds your soul. I almost feel like I want to put this anxiety card between these. And this is the only feminine energy that is sitting here. in this whole reading. It could be speaking of the yin within them, their feminine aspect, the caring, the nurturing, kind of mothering, wanting to look after and protect, is very anxious because of some sort of separation, some duality in their life. This is duality in their life. And these two things, it seems very hard to live without one or the other, right? Like something that speaks to your soul, that drives your passion, makes you so grounded, brings you into connection with who you really are. But yet, this man holding the coin, there's a great responsibility comes with this energy. Prosperity, happiness, health, abundance. I want to pull out a tarot card to sit right between those two. The first chakra and the man holding the coin. And then I will pull out more cards for the message and clarify everything. These are the kind of readings that take some time to unpack. And I've thought about, like, I know that some readers will pull out all the cards ahead of time and then do the reading for you. And I just don't work that way. I find that I have to verbalize what I'm saying. So if I did that off camera, you would miss half the reading. So you have to bear with me. Between the first chakra and the man holding the coin, what is the energy between these two dualities that existed in this person's life? What is the energy of the duality of what? The Page of Swords. Again, is feminine energy. I want to say, I feel like there is something that went on in this person's life that may have had something to do with someone that perhaps they wanted to be with, or that opened something up for them. Almost looks like a bridge. Finding the bridge between two dual aspects of your life. How to bridge two dual aspects. Okay, so this guide is in your life to help you bridge duality in your life, to help you bring together aspects of your life that seem like they cannot. Very temperance, very temperance energy, like what I'm explaining here. Because in that whole process, there will be a period of time. If there's something that is difficult for you to bring together, two elements of your life that don't go well together, but they're both so significant you can't not have one of them. It's like having a beating heart without the lungs to have the breath. Or having the lungs to have the breath without having the beating heart. It's almost like this bridging is the arteries and anything else that would be involved in moving the oxygen between these 2 points, making these dual components come together. This guide, it is a masculine guide, but it is the feminine energy that creates the anxiety. I hear men all over the world going, you have no idea, Cindy, how much anxiety my wife creates for me. You have no idea how much my mother creates. There's lessons in that. Somehow, there is, and when I say the feminine, something nurturing, something very nurturing here is utilized to bring 2 points of your life together. That's why this is a really powerful individual. Very masculine. So I'm pulling out the tarot cards to get what their message is for you. I feel very strongly the King of Swords aspect is speaking to me, to you right now. He's sitting front and center. And it's all I see in here right now is the King of Swords. I feel like he's just very like a factual, let's get down to it kind of energy. And of course, isn't that funny? And that's who would end the reading. The cards that came out be the last card. I'll show you the cards. You got the Eight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the King of Swords. See, everything that came out in the tarot is feminine except the King of Swords. Every single one of them is a feminine depiction except the King of Swords here. He's talking to you, trying to help guide you by reaching the deeper, the feminine part within you. Whether you're a man, woman, child, hopefully there's no children watching, but the very vulnerable, I guess I would say, the love within you too, the calm, nurturing element within you. There's all of these cards, the women all have their eyes closed except the Queen of Swords. Her eyes are open, blindfolded, eyes closed, eyes closed, eyes open, and he's looking at the entire spread. I gotta show you this. There is so much going on in the in this spread. Do you see that? But look, the Queen and King of Swords are looking at each other. But are they? There's something you don't see. This individual guide comes to speak to you. I'm feeling very strongly, not so much as like, oh, I have a feeling I should do this. I literally feel like it could be like the little voice inside your head, like to speak to you. It's funny. Oh, it was Libra that had this, and they're an air sign too, wasn't it? That someone whispered to them in their dreams. It was Libra, another air sign. Someone was whispering to them, that their ancestor was whispering to them in their dreams. The King of Swords communicates, I'm feeling, very verbally, but sort of clairvoyantly as well. But I'm feeling more like almost hearing him in your head. So here's what I'm getting. When you are at some sort of a crossroads and you are trying to bridge two parts of your life together, this ancestor becomes very strong in terms of guiding you through the thoughts and the words that you hear in your mind. And he comes forward when you cannot see what either A is your solution, B is the bridge that joins these two dual properties, and C, perhaps when you're feeling there is nowhere to go, like you have no options. When something affects you on an emotional level, and you're having difficulty moving forward. This King of Swords is speaking to you. See, the Hanged Man is in the reverse. Or it's in the reverse. No, everything is reversed after the Hanged Man. So this is the only thing that I'm looking at in terms of the underlying. The solution is there. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to your inner voice. The solution is there. Literally, I'm imagining someone like meditating. Ask the question. Ask the right question. That came forward at the end of the Scorpio reading. Ask the right question to hear the answer. And look at, I love this King of Swords. He's got a bat, he's got an owl, he's got a crow. The King of Swords energy within this ancestor is what plays the strongest part. A lot of the other stuff I feel like the King of Wands, King of Cups, King of Pentacles, because this is an Emperor. This is someone who has mastered all the elements of life. This was nobody's fool, I'm hearing. This was nobody's fool. But they speak to you because I'm hearing too, they don't want you to be anybody's fool. And the strongest way to get through to you is the King of Swords, is the King of Swords. Because it's crystal clear communication. There's nothing there. Like it's just open air, but you just need to listen. You just need to listen. And because all of these pictures, their eyes are closed except the Queen of Swords, that's when you hear him. When you can shut everything else out in some way, that's when you hear him. So I haven't even clarified anything. It's an interesting message. I want to say this person likely had facial hair. That came out in the other, but all of these. I don't know if that's just all of the men in there, but no, they all. Okay, I am going to pull one card for each one of these. Because there's so many cards, like I'm going to tell you the story and then I'll show you the clarifiers. It chops it up too much for me with this much information. This is uncanny. Okay, the Temple Path was the first card that you have in this spread about the story. The Temple card was the first card that Scorpio had in the spread to this story. Scorpio brought in this masculine energy. It was just the King of Wands. The clarifying card is the Knight of Cups, which is exactly the same clarifying card that Scorpio had. I don't even know. Like, what are the possibilities of that? That's pretty impressive. God, that's crazy. Okay, that is crazy how that played out. Okay, you're dying to know what's crazy. I'm going to show you what's crazy. And then I'm going to give me a second to tell you what all these clarifiers are saying. Hold this up. Okay. This is how this is sitting on the table. Underneath this, let's call him the King of Pentacles, is the Four of Swords. The clarifying card that came out for the King of Pentacles was the Four of Swords. The clarifying card that came out for the Four of Swords is the King of Pentacles. There's like some serious synchronicities in this reading. And as I was pulling cards, I felt very strongly that the King of Swords was what was coming in the clearest. And then that was the last card that I pulled out in this spread. Okay, this energy is not around you for like simple things. These are sort of soul path changing energies. The bridge. The temple path is really these two parts of your life. It feels as if one needs to be put on hold for the other one to exist, and then one needs to be put on hold for the other one to exist. And right, this bridge between these 2 points with the Nine of Wands is what clarifies it, is this becomes exhausting. This becomes exhausting. It feels, you feel almost defensive, like trying to protect this element of your life and manage it, and then trying to protect this other element and manage it. I just need to bridge them together, but this becomes exhausting. And the dream of cornucopia almost becomes a burden where it shouldn't be. It starts to feel like a burden to be able to have everything. How do I have everything if I can't bring these two elements together? But I really feel like the King of Swords is trying to tell you that. Can you tell us tell us that? But it's going to be a personal message for each one of you. You have to hear him. You have to listen. When you're feeling trapped, you need to release yourself from this. Okay, so this is what he's saying. When you are feeling trapped, when you are feeling like you cannot move forward, regardless of what sort of disruption or chaos you think that might cause to yourself or those around you, if you don't move forward, the universe will create a tower moment for you. If you don't create the tower moment, the universe is going to do it. So how do you want that to happen? If you hear me, you can find your justice, the balance. You can bring these two places together in your life. You don't need to walk away from cornucopia. You don't need to walk away from cornucopia. Cornucopia waits for you. Cornucopia is waiting for you. It's not moving. I'm hearing it's not moving. The King of Swords will not move until you hear the message. If you don't understand it right now in terms of how to apply it to your life, this King of Swords, like ancestral energy, this guide is not moving until you get the message. And with the King of Pentacles, with the Four of Swords, and then the King of Pentacles clarified with the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords clarified with the King of Pentacles, this is just telling me as well, like, whether you need to heal, you need to rest, you need to recover. Cornucopia, I just keep hearing cornucopia waits for you, Sag. Cornucopia waits. But this is the key. There's some sort of key here with the Eight of Swords and the Tower moment. Freeing yourself might even feel like you're free falling, but that is the key here. Perhaps I'm imagining, like, if you're on a timeline, if you're on a thread of reality, and you're on a thread of reality that states these two elements of your life cannot come together. These two elements of your life cannot come together. And so you've controlled yourself believing that. And that's what the Eight of Swords is. You've controlled yourself believing that. You've convinced yourself of that. So that is where you sit. And like if they say every reality exists, where are you going to plop yourself today? What are you going to believe in today? And there's that reality. It's infinite, the possibilities. We can't comprehend it even. The minute you say to yourself, cornucopia waits for me, and you just go knowing. You may not even know how, but you no longer sit in this mindset of I am trapped, I can't move towards this, or I can't do this, or I cannot combine these two elements of my life. It's almost like free falling. You're free falling to another thread of reality. And yeah, maybe it's going to feel like things are moving really quick. Things are changing really fast. But that's how you bring these two elements of your life together. Because they don't exist on the timeline that you're believing in. They don't exist in the timeline that you are believing in. So you do have to free fall. But the universe will catch you. There's always a timeline. But if in your mind you believe that cornucopia waits for you, it waits down here on this timeline. Go to it. Boy, it's really an interesting week, but it is tiring. These messages are very tiring. The Page of Wands is at the bottom. I like that the Page of Wands is at the bottom because it's exercising that very simple and open and honest communication, even if it's communication with yourself. A message. The message, yeah, the message is clear. I'm hearing the King of Swords like, the message is clear. Maybe he's talking man talk, because I'm just getting like, there's all this masculine energy almost trying to deliver a message to all this feminine energy. I don't think there's anything else to clarify. What did you think of that? That was interesting. Oh, wait, before I do the extended, I'm going to give you a little message from my Fred Rogers book. And these are really good. These are beautiful little messages. Because he had many little words of wisdom to share, even with us adults, to speak to our inner child. We got a long one. Understanding love. Oh my gosh, he's not going to give that up this week. So page 74 and 75. Oh, let's see this. Okay, so understanding love. So this is a little excerpt of information for you from the great Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers. I received a letter from a parent who wrote, Mr. Rogers, how do you do it? I wish I were like you. I want to be patient and quiet and even-tempered and always speak respectfully to my children. But that just isn't my personality. I often lose my patience and even scream at my children. I want to change from an impatient person into a patient person, from an angry person into a gentle one. Just as it takes time, okay, that's the end of the quote. Just as it takes time for children to understand what real love is, it takes time for parents to understand that being always patient, quiet, even-tempered, and respectful isn't necessarily what good parents are. In fact, parents help children by expressing a wide range of feelings, including appropriate anger. All children need to see that the adults in their lives can feel anger and not hurt themselves or anyone else when they feel that way. That's actually really wise. Because I think, yeah, if you were always, as a parent, always quiet and patient and even-tempered. I know I have a couple of friends and they're like, I got so mad at my kids this morning. I'm like, well, were they getting it? Were they getting it before you got mad at them? Were they getting it before you asked them nicely 20 times to put their shoes on? No. Well, guess what? The world is going to cause a tower moment on you if you don't move your ass. It's kind of true, isn't it? Because the world doesn't work that way, so why should you? But right, like how do you manage your feelings and your emotions without anyone being hurt? I think that was always really the main thing. It's fascinating. That it ties into here, but perhaps it does for some of you. But that's a really interesting quote. So, wow. Thank you, Sagittarius. My tongue gets a little bit tied with this dental appliance, orthodontic appliance in my mouth. I'm going to go do your extended now and see what what words. That'd be interesting to see, because I really feel like it's the King of Swords energy of this Emperor speaking right now. It's like, it's there. Listen, listen. So we're going to go listen to him in the extended and see what he has to say. Until next time, do be gentle with yourself. Bye.